everyone, my name is Jasmine CZARNECKI, and I am so glad that you are watching this video right now for Cleft Awareness Month. There are two things that I want to talk about to brand new parents or expecting parents, or those that have little ones, to those that are cleft affected. My first child, Daniel, was born with a unilateral cleft lip, and on top of me being a first-time mother already, I'm already nervous, and it almost seems like the last thing I needed was for a child to be born differently. And the thing that I worried most about my child having a cleft was more so, how was the community going to view him, how severe the cleft would be, and unfortunately how the world would perceive him as. And I wasn't truly prepared at the time. I was still a young kid at the time too. I was 22 years old. So there was just a lot going on. And I know a lot of parents are going to worry about, how are people going to view my baby?
Our journey started when I was pregnant. During the routine 20-week ultrasound, our baby's cleft was discovered. We were referred to the nearest children's hospital, and they confirmed the cleft lip, and they were pretty certain his palate was affected also. To say we were overwhelmed would have been an understatement. I felt like my entire world crashed and exploded all at the same time. Every day I was on this emotional roller coaster. I was so blessed that I was finally pregnant, but I also felt like I had already failed him before he was even born. I was scared. I did not know how I would care for him and what this would mean for his future. I was also mad at the universe because why did this happen to us? But I could not wait for him to get here so I could meet him. We were very fortunate to be able to meet with the head of our cleft team shortly after my second ultrasound. Our doctor was one of the best in the country, and we left knowing our son would receive the best care possible.
I found out at 19 weeks pregnant, and they told me Henry would have a cleft lip and potential cleft palate. So obviously trying to process that put me on a roller coaster of emotion. Lots of different things went through my mind, but obviously I was afraid of, how am I supposed to do this? I don't know any of the medical terminology. I don't know anyone who has a cleft. I don't know anything. So I was definitely worried about just trying to navigate it all. I was worried about surgeries, and I was definitely worried about people looking at Henry differently.
For me, I did not have a fear being pregnant because I did not know that she had a cleft until she was born. I did not have any fear. I did not have any sadness. I just felt like she was sent to me for that reason, and we are going to get through it together.
My biggest fear when I found out that Brennan was going to have a cleft lip and palate immediately went to, what was she going to look like and what were people going to think? Those are natural fears that we have when we find out something like this about our child. We were worried that people were going to look at her differently or treat her differently, and we knew that we just wanted her to get into this world healthy and happy, and then we would work on whatever else needed to be fixed.
When I was pregnant, I almost robbed myself of an enjoyable pregnancy because I was just so fixated on how he was going to look and how were people going to react to him. You know, I can handle it for myself. I'm an adult, but I couldn't handle it happening to my child. And I'm sure a lot of you can relate. I've spent many sleepless nights on that. And shame on me, because the second I laid eyes on him, my son is absolutely beautiful.
Once Hunter made his grand entrance into the world, he was whisked out of the operating room to the NICU to be monitored and evaluated. By the time my C-section was finished and I was out of the recovery and finally able to hold my baby, he showed everyone that he was a fighter and had already pulled out his oxygen and was ready for his first meal. And he has never stopped showing the world just how strong he is.
We chose to tell our close friends and family first about Brennan's diagnosis. We wanted to make sure that people who were closest to us knew what we were going through, because we knew that we were going to need the support to get us through the first year of Brennan's life. When Brennan did arrive, we wanted to share the big news. So we made a simple Facebook post with a picture and shared that she had arrived, the normal birth stats that you normally would share, and then we told everybody that she simply had a cleft lip and palate. The outpouring of support that we received was amazing, and everybody thought she was beautiful, which we already knew.
There's many things that this journey has taught me, and one of them is perseverance and how much it takes to walk your child through a surgery, to take your child to appointments, to take your child to different therapy sessions, just the time commitment that it takes, which is really time consuming and can be overwhelming. Another thing it's taught me is just being able to be more empathetic with people and, really hearing what they're saying, not just, it's just a different way to approach conversation, and just to be more empathetic and be able to sympathize and, maybe not being able to understand exactly, but just be a listening ear for people.
Having a child with a cleft has taught me all about being resilient. She has taught me more about what it is to have strength and to be able to get through anything that life brings to you, to be able to be there for people when they need them and be that advocate for those in need, and to be there for others that don't feel like they possibly might not belong. And she has taught me that. She has been all of those things with her friends, and she is really grown personally over the years into this beautiful young woman who is compassionate and caring. And she has taught me so much about being unique and just being yourself no matter what. We are all different, and her cleft has brought her that little bit extra of uniqueness and made her even more beautiful as a person. And she inspires other people to be kind and to really just believe in yourself and believe in other people.
What I want people to understand about a cleft lip and palate is that it's a journey. It is a journey for a lifetime. It is not just one procedure and done, but these patients and children and adults face a series of lifelong commitment to their health care.
Another thing I want people to understand is how difficult it is to walk your child through surgery. And as a mom, I really mentally struggle a lot. My son has been through 11 surgeries and has come out on the other side every single time, doing so well, recovering so beautifully. But there's a lot of mental turmoil that I have before we go into surgery. And I feel like I need to walk through all of that before I can process that with Henry, and just how tricky it can be sometimes to navigate that with your child, to be able to pay attention to their prompts and their, how soon you need to tell a child that they're going into surgery. And so, that just adds complexity to it. Another thing is, if you know somebody who's having surgery, bring them a hot meal, meet them for coffee, get them out of the house, switch gears for them, even if it's just an hour. Send them a note in the mail. Come by and see them, even if you don't understand everything that's happening. Just having a listening ear during that time is really helpful.
The other thing I do want to touch on as well is, to me, what Cleft is a beautiful reminder to just never judge anybody for how they look. It all comes from within. And what I've also noticed is that When you're given one thing, you're given another. And to me, I hands down believe that anybody that is cleft impacted has the most beautiful set of eyes, and which is the window to the soul. And to me, you wear the scar proudly on the outside just because of how good of a person you are inside. My son Daniel, although he is 7, is a magnificent little boy, and I'm sure you parents can relate to when you see your cleft child as well. Your journey may be starting, hasn't started yet, or just may have ended. Either way, you are supported now, tomorrow, in the future. At any time, Smile Train's community is here for you. Enjoy the time with your child. Enjoy the journey. Use these experiences to educate others. Never bash, because it's not needed. There's enough hate in this world as is. Let's use this time to band closer and provide the love that everyone needs. We are blessed to have beautiful cleft children because their forever smiles are completely worth it.
My advice to any family starting this journey is pretty simple. Relax and enjoy every minute of it. It is easy for me to say that now, but I vividly remember how terrified I was to hand my baby off to the surgeons for the first time. But these kids are resilient and amazing. I am a proud cleft mom, and my son is a rock star. He has taught me to be strong and to never give up, and I know he will continue to make the world a better place with his smile.
Every smile has a story, and ours has a cleft.